Welcome, everyone. This is Robert Ferguson, and we are always talking about a diet-free life. And today, we're going to talk about moist, yummy chicken breast. Every time you cook it, moist, cut like butter, juicy. And I'm going to share with you a little tip on how to optimize what we call cellular inflammation. Oh, yeah. And it's going to be good. Now, you will need an air fryer. And not everybody has an air fryer. Sorry, you guys. But it definitely, once you understand how you can make this work each and every time, an air fryer is worth the purchase. It's one of the best purchases I've ever made in my kitchen. Ever. Okay. So I'm going to share with you some tips. Now, if you're brand new to me, if you're catching me on some other platform other than YouTube, I want to encourage you to come over. There should be a link, and you can jump right over, and then you can subscribe, you can like, you can comment, tell me where you're from. But we're going to have a quick, fun conversation about this amazing way to cook your chicken breast. Now, it's pretty simple. And to save you time and energy, if you look down below, I have provided you with a link to the recipe. And I made it even easier because once you go to the link for the recipe, you can download the PDF of the recipe, save it on your phone, save it on your iPad, save it on your tablet, save it on your computer. Print it out if you want. Okay, it's all right there, and I make it easy. Okay, now, as I walk you through this, which is only going to take a few minutes, there's some cool little details that sometimes get missed when you're looking at the recipe. Okay, so let me set up a couple things. Boom, boom. Oh, look at that. Air fryer perfect chicken breast. Okay. Yum, yum, yum. And I'm going to tell you, I have not been a fan of chicken breast. I mean, I went many years without eating chicken. And then when I brought it in, if it was grilled, it was pretty good. But what happens when you grill it, you're adding things to it. Sometimes they're using butter. Sometimes they're using an oil that is not ideal for any of you wanting to lose weight or optimize health, right? And keep your inflammation under control. Sometimes you cook it it takes forever if you bake it. And sometimes you want to eat. Well, this recipe, you can get it all done from the thought all the way to the time it's on your plate in less than 15 minutes. All you need is the chicken. Okay, so let me walk you through what this looks like. Okay, now number one, actually, before I even do that, let me show you guys. This is the air fryer that I have. Okay, it's the Ninja. Now you see those two buckets there? That works out great because you can be cooking your vegetables in one bucket. You could be cooking your steak or your chicken or your salmon in the other bucket. And you can time it to where all the food is done at the same time. That's a win-win. So I'm telling you, man, if you don't have one, it's worth the purchase. I have this one and I have a stainless steel one. Okay. Because that's another story. All right. So this is the one that I have. All right. So going back to the recipe. What I like to do in the very beginning is I have, not the biggest Ziploc, but I'll get a Ziploc bag like this. Okay. Can you see that? All right. Let me make this a little smaller. Okay. So Ziploc bag. And in this Ziploc bag, I have a chicken breast. And what I do is I pour some extra virgin olive oil on it, almost like a marinade. And you don't have to do this for days or hours in advance. You could do it like right when you're about to cook it. So what I do is I'll pour a little bit in there, not too much, but it kind of gets all over the chicken. Okay. So this is what I do. So if you came to my house and I made the chicken breast for you and you said, man, that chicken breast is really tender, buttery, juicy, then I'm telling you what I do. Once I do this, then you're going to need one of these. or something like this. You can use a pen roller. I've seen people use their fists, but you're going to need to pound that chicken. And the other thing that I like to have, because otherwise you're going to be counting on a fork, is you want to have something, like this. Because halfway through cooking it in the air fryer, you're going to flip it. Okay. So this makes it easy. Just and flip it, keep it going. All right. So I brought a little video I'm going to play for you guys. I gave credit to the content creator, and then I'm going to walk you through exactly what I do. And again, the recipe is there, and I'll answer any questions. Okay. So this is a video that helps you understand the importance of pounding that chicken. So notice I haven't pounded this yet, but what happens is you'll get a part of the chicken breast. Oftentimes it'll be thinner than the other part. So you ideally want to pound it to the point where it's even, the same thickness all the way across. It's worth taking the time to do that. It really is. It makes a big difference in the moisture, all of that. Okay, so let's watch this little video together.
For dried chicken breast, here's the one thing you should do before cooking them. You're gonna need one of these. Ooh, let's get started. The chicken breast is tapered on one end and really thick on the other. This is going to cause uneven cooking, taking much longer to cook this thicker side. The simple solution to this issue is to pound them out into even thickness. Use a paper towel to dry the excess moisture off the surface.
Okay, so let me pause there. I don't do that. So I already have the olive oil in here with the chicken. So what I do is I'll put this down flat on the cutting board, and then I start pounding it through the plastic while the oil is inside. That's what I do. Okay, so that's important that I brought light to that.
Working one at a time, place it in a large resealable plastic bag. I like to keep the edges closed so that the raw juice doesn't splatter everywhere. Using the flat side of a meat mallet, pound the chicken. If you don't have a mallet, you could also use a rolling pin or the bottom of a heavy pan. You want the pieces to be a little bit less than 3/4 inch thick. Now the chicken is nice and even and thick.
FYI, I go for a 1/2 inch thickness. She says 3/4 inch. Again, I'm sharing with you when I brag and say how good and juicy and tender my chicken is and how well it turns out. I'm just sharing with you this is exactly how I do it. Okay, so
flattening the chicken is the perfect way to prevent moisture loss, so you have super juicy pieces. Now you're ready to cook.
All right. Okay, so now let me walk you guys through. Let's see here. Let me go. Okay, so I may, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the recipe. Okay, I think that'll be good if I do that. Okay, so just give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Super dry chicken breast. Here's the.
Let's remove that. Remove that. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. Let's see if we can. I got to get better at this. Got to get faster at it. Okay, how do we share? Here we go. And okay, so let me know in the comments if you guys can see this. Okay. Okay, so to make sure we're good. Okay. I feel like I'm sharing the wrong thing now. There we go. Okay. So at this point, you should be able to see my screen. All right. Thank you, Chrissy. I appreciate that. Let me see. Can I make it? Let's go like that. All right. So everybody can see my screen. I'm going to walk with. So when you go to the website link, this is what it looks like when you go to the recipe. Okay. And as you scroll down, you can see at the very top that you can download and you can print it. So I have like a little summation at the top. And then as you scroll down, you can see the ingredients that you're going to need. So what I do is I have my boneless chicken breast. I have about 2 teaspoons. You can go a little bit more on the olive oil if you want. That's not going to change anything. I mean, you can drench it, but olive oil is expensive. Make sure it's extra virgin olive oil. What I like to do is get some garlic. Minced garlic is great. I'm going to take a little bit of salt, some black pepper, and then usually I'm going to use garlic powder, but you can go with whatever seasonings that you want. I even have like a rub that I use for certain things, and I blend it all up. So you're going to need that. Now, at this point, you place the chicken, in the wrapper, as I showed you. Here I give an example of using parchment paper, and then I pound it out. And then once I pound it out, and I notice there's something missing. Oh, no, it's down here. All right, so oil the surface. Okay, so I'm actually going to change this recipe. I'm glad I'm doing this because I do things a little differently. So what happens is once I pound the chicken, right, then I take it out, and sometimes I may rub a little bit more olive oil on it, and then I take a fork, get a fork, and I poke it all over this, poke it. Poke, 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 poke. And then I take my rub. So all the things, your seasonings, and I put it on there evenly, and then I rub it in or pat it in. Pat it in. Pat, 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 pat. Then after that, I flip it on the cutting board, and I do the exact same thing. Rub a little bit of oil on there. I poke the holes, and then actually, you could poke the holes, put a little bit more oil on it if you want, and then put your rub, all your spices, etc. And then after that, I'm ready to put it in the air fryer. Now, what I do in the air fryer is I set it to, let me see here. I'm jumping around, you guys. I set it to 400, and at 400, then I'm ready to rock. I set it for 11 minutes. Now, you could do 10, you could do 12. I think it'll still work out great. But I set it for 11. It gives me a little bit of wiggle room as far as how long it's inside. And then what I do is halfway through, so about 5 minutes in, I don't even pause my air fryer, because that's why I set it for 11 minutes. Then I pull it out, I flip it, then I put it right back in. The fan never stops. And then at the very end, I make sure I have all my vegetables or whatever I'm going to eat with it all ready if I'm eating something with it. And then when it's done, I take it out. By that time, I've cleaned my cutting board because I only have one cutting board. And then I place it on there, and this sucker gets big, right? I mean, it's like huge. And then I just cut it, depending on how you want to cut it. I cut it. It looks pretty, and you can just see the juice popping out of it. It's so tender. It's so soft. And then the only thing left is to eat. That's how I do it. So any questions for me as it pertains to cooking chicken breast in the air fryer? Because I hear people complain all the time how dry their chicken breast is. Okay, so let me see here. Who do we got? So I want to give a shout out. Hello, Donna. Okay, I think that's a Donna that I know. Okay, if that's the Donna that I know who's in our 8-week fat loss challenge, let me know, Donna. Then we have Chrissy. Chrissy says, do you marinate it overnight or the same day? Literally, you could do this 5 minutes before. I mean, a minute before. So no, I don't marinate it. I literally, because I'm getting ready to eat. And so right before hitting play on this video, I took a piece of chicken breast. I put it in a Ziploc. I added oil to it. So you can call that as marinating right now. But I could do that for 1 minute. And when the oil's in it, then I pound it down to the size, the thickness that I want. Then I take it out. At that point, I start poking holes in it. You could add a little bit more extra virgin olive oil if you want it. And then at that point, I put my rub on, flip it, poke holes, same thing. And now we're ready. At that point, we are ready to cook. And be ready. In the last 2 weeks, I've had 3 of my clients, my nutrition clients that I coach, all told me that they were bored with chicken breast, that they didn't eat chicken breast. Actually, no, 6 people, how much they didn't eat chicken breast. And all of this inspired me to actually post a recipe, because I would text this to some of my clients who were in that state, and I forgot about it. But I do it every day, right? I mean, not every day, probably 2-3 times a week when I make chicken breast. This is exactly how I cook it every time. And if I want it a little different, that's where the condiments come in. Or if you wanted that, put condiment on it afterwards. You can put a little bit of, I don't know, barbecue sauce on it. I mean, you know what I mean? You could really, but it doesn't need anything. And it's got the right oil, especially for people who have insulin resistance. You could eat this with a baked potato, a sweet potato, a yam. It's like I was talking to Sandy this morning. She has a great quick recipe that she does with yams. I mean, I'm going to let her post it because I loved it. I'm already going to do it, right? And the short of it is that she'll bake, 3-4 yams or sweet potatoes or baked potatoes, or maybe a combination of all of them. Let's say on a Sunday, maybe you do 4 of them, 3 of them. And once they're done baking, then she puts them in the refrigerator. Yeah. So you cook it, it's in the fridge. So now, and Sandy, you can post and tell everybody if I butcher this, but then when she wants to have one of those sweet potatoes for lunch, this is when this air fryer comes in handy again. She takes it out, and I can't wait, Sandy, like how long you put it in and at what temperature or what, how you do it. Do you air fry it? I only use my air fryer. Like I don't use any of the other options that gives you for cooking. Something I want to look into, but maybe when you share, I'll give it a try with what you're doing. But at that point, I know that if you throw it in the air fryer, even if I just did it the way I would do it for like 5 minutes, it's going to give it the crispiness. It's going to heat it up evenly inside and outside. And then what Sandy said she'll do is she'll take some cinnamon, kind of put it on there, which sounds great. I think what I would do is, I think I'll try that because cinnamon's polyphenols. And then she'll put a little extra virgin olive oil on it, so it gives you that added moisture. Chop it up, and man, imagine chicken breasts. You got an amazing sweet potato or yam. I'm a yam guy. I mean, actually my preference overall, you guys, is I'm a white potato, Idaho all the way. I love potatoes, and I know how good they are for you. But I also love my yams. I'm not the biggest sweet potato guy, because I got a little sweetness, but there's something about the white potato and the yam. But in adding the extra virgin olive oil, not butter, because we know what that can do. Not that butter's bad, but it depends on how you're going to eat it. Now, if you're going to have it with chicken breasts, the way we help people eat based on their metabolic flexibility, chicken breast, you could have a little butter on that sweet potato. But if you wanted to maximize, don't add any saturated fat. You're getting the fat from the olive oil. And the difference is that the olive oil is setting the stage for the environment in your body, in your cells, to be anti-inflammatory, which is very important when you have insulin resistance. Okay. So let me see. What is Sandy? Sandy's on here live with you guys. She says, how much oil do you use? Oh, like when I put it in the Ziploc bag, I just drench a little bit, enough that's going to cover it, because you're not going to eat all that oil. Okay. And a lot of it is going to be destroyed when you cook it. It's going to evaporate. So I'm not concerned with extra virgin olive oil. I mean, it's not like it's floating in there, right? So in the recipe, I think I mentioned 2 teaspoons, but you could probably do a tablespoon and be easily and get it. That's probably what I use, is about a tablespoon. Let me see. Sandy says, I slice it and sprinkle. So she's talking about the sweet potato. She slices it open, sprinkles some cinnamon on it, and then air fry it until it's a little crisp. Like, how long would that be? And and next time you do it, then find out how long you do it and at what temperature. Or, because I think you'll get it down to a science, right? Like, I got this chicken breast down to a science. Sandy goes on to say, I like them with the cinnamon and the extra virgin olive oil. That sounds yummy. And Christy says, I also add spices as well as peppers, shallots, mushrooms, with the protein. That's a fat burning meal right there. That's what I'm talking about. That's a win. It's a win. And I believe if that was Donna who's in the challenge, I posted like a little testimony. I took some info from Donna. I didn't mention her full name because she wanted to have privacy, but she shared that quote with me, and I posted it because the way she explained what's happening in the challenge is exactly what our goal is to market and get people to understand that you can lose weight without taking pills, without getting injections, without giving up carbs, without avoiding food groups. Eat regular everyday food that you like to eat, but you're now learning how to eat it in the right combinations, the right proportions. So you're pairing your foods in the right proportions, and that's what makes it work. And Sandy this morning, who I'm coaching, who's great because she has stood the course. Sandy, I'm seeing weight loss right now that we weren't seeing before. Like, we saw some big drops a while back, and I think a lot of that had to do with cell membrane fluidity. I think her cells got healthier. Not think, we know, because she actually had testing done. And then, your body does get to a set point, right? There's a set point theory. And she stayed there. And she's been applying now for 4 weeks some of these little changes on pairing and making sure she's not getting too much fat with her carbs. And it's amazing to me when you coach someone like you, Sandy, for this long, and you see you make little changes and you have numbers dropping like you're having right now. That's impressive. And now you're about to go into a whole nother range. You're about to leave a weight that you've been at for a little bit, but in the last 4 weeks, you're losing weight, Sandy. Like, a lot of regular people lose weight. Okay. That's impressive. I mean, it really is. It's impressive, to say the least. It just shows. And that's why you get someone like Oprah and some of these people that are pushing these drugs, and they say, oh, we've done everything. No, you have not. You have not done everything. And it's interesting as people talk about the food noise, and I'll end on this, you guys, and thank you for hanging in there with me. You hear people talk about food noise. Well, did you know that insulin plays a huge role in why you have food noise, which ties into why people crave certain things? When insulin's elevated, you're going to experience food noise. So what we're doing in the challenge, and when I work with clients, what we're teaching people and showing them is how to eat in a way where your insulin levels aren't up so high that you have food noise. So we're quieting the noise with food. And Oprah, with all her money and resources and access, doesn't know what we know. So in her limited knowledge and experience, she is doing the best that she can, and she's given up because she never learned how to eat. Oprah can't explain what insulin resistance is. She's never talked about insulin resistance. Whoopi Goldberg has no clue what insulin resistance is. Serena has no clue what insulin resistance is. They can't explain it. They don't know. So they find something that works for them based on what they're hoping to achieve. And I get it. So that becomes the holy grail for them. But for someone like Sandy or like Donna, right? They discover how to eat regular food in a way where they don't have food noise. So it's not about education, because there's a lot of smart people who don't know what we know. They're just not informed of what we know. And it'd be completely weird and odd if I'm saying this and everyone who's doing it gains 20 pounds. Because that's what happened with Susan Powder back in the day, right? Stop the Insanity. People were gaining weight because she took the negative off of carbs and says you can eat carbs, and she blamed it on fat. And just eat all the carbs you want. And people were gaining weight. So anyway, and she was great, by the way. If Susan Powder, if you ever come across this video, I would love to interview you, because she's seen it. And there's a documentary that's on my list to watch about Susan Powder. I work with guys who produced her show, and which was really cool, because I got to hear all the cool stories, because she was a dynamo. She had it. She had the presence, the energy, the way she commanded the stage. She was awesome. All right. So before I go, let me take a quick look. And there's some lessons on metabolic flexibility in this, you guys. Okay, some real lessons. I mean, it's so interesting in the world that we live in, how knowledge really is power, especially when acted upon. But if you don't know, then you don't know. And a lot of people don't know. And if you don't know, then you just go with what you think you know, right? And you got to trust in the people who tell you, hey, do this, take a peptide, eat this, don't eat that, stay away from this. And the reality is the reality. So in my next video, it's going to be very interesting. And I'm excited to share what I'm going to share with you guys, because I'm going to highlight Monique, the actress. So if you're catching the replay, look for that video, because we're going to talk about Ozempic and the impact that these drugs are having on our mental health. Yeah, in a big way. And I've talked about it here and there, but this one's going to be a little different. And I'm going to keep it really simple and stay very clear and very focused. So, all right. Well, anyway, thank you guys. For those of you who caught me live, those who caught the replay, I want to say thank you. Make sure you come over to our YouTube channel, like it, subscribe on it. Even if you don't want to watch it, just hit play and let it play, because that'll help me reach more people. That's the goal. All right, let me see. What did Sandy say? She says, I believe it, because I was talking about quieting that noise, those cravings. And she says, I believe it. I don't have any more cravings or wants to eat after dinner. I mean, this is real. It is real. So anyway, you guys, enjoy your day. I'm going to go make me some chicken. Chicken breast is moist, juicy. It's going to be so good. I mean, and you can have it that way too. I'm telling you, from right now to the time I'm eating it, that's 15 minutes max. That means it's cooked, it's cut, it's on a fork. All right, you guys, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Share the good news over the diet blues. And again, thank you for liking, commenting. All of that helps. Appreciate you. Peace. In a world of times, there's a new way to see.
counting calories, just living free. Robert Ferguson's got the plan you need. With diet-free life, it's the key. No more starving, getting rid of inflammation. Choosing healthy choices, providing you with sound information. Bringing balance to hormones and insulin to food. With DFL, teaching you food choices to see you through. DFL, we're teaching you to eat food right. Teaching you to pair food with each bite. Balancing our body's microbiome feels so right. With diet